I guess personally, I've been in a relationship for a long time, and you kind of get complacent after a while within the relationship. Not of any fault of anyone's, but I guess just like time, and you get into a routine and you start to like forget about the little things and the things that that kind of make each other feel special. Yes, just I guess mainly about communication, just making sure you let your significant other know that they're loved, and that you still, even though you might think in your own mind, you're like, well, obviously we've been in a relationship for how many years, like it's quite obvious that, you know, we love each other, but sometimes you get into like a groove where it doesn't come out. So yeah, I just wanted to make like just like a nice feel-good song that feels like it could have been written or recorded like in the early 90s or, you know, like the late 80s. I'd recently got my my Jazzmaster, and I'd never really had a guitar like that before, and all my previous guitars were like, you know, like 7-string EMG pickups, like very metal orientated guitars. And yeah, I remember going to a guitar shop and being like, all right, I want to write some, you know, lighter, like rockier music. I want to like experiment with different sounds that I've never worked with before. Yeah, I fell in love with this guitar in the guitar shop, and that hadn't really happened before. So
I think for me it was just cool to have a little bit of a softer, well, there is some heavier parts to the song, but it's definitely more of a softer, more reserved track on the record.
Be OK was super fun to work on in the studio. We got to experiment with like adding acoustic guitars to it, changing the tempo of the track, and since it was at like the tail end of the studio, we had enough time to really focus on it and get it to a point where we were really stoked with it.
I like Be OK because there's a nice journey with the song. There's a good rise and fall from section to section, both dynamically but also emotively, I find, with what Dev is singing about, and also just with the layering of the guitars and everything else. And hopefully the drums support that sense of rise and fall as we go along. Because I think every great song's got to have a good sense of a rise and fall to it. It's got to take you somewhere. It's got to take you on some sort of journey. If it's not, then I don't really think there's much point.
It's one of those songs where you can just put on and, you know, it could be background music, or it could be like you could be screaming it out or singing it along, and it's just one of those songs that it's just nice. It's just a nice song to sing.